Check 1, 2. Can you hear me? With that mic, you're going to have to put it, like, right up against your mouth.
Check, check. Yep.
There you go.
It's going to be fire.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to use the bathroom real quick, though.
Okay.
doing the anthem? Let's go!
playing our national anthem from the Chanute Blue Pride Pep Band under the direction of Dr. A.J. Yu. Blue Pride Band. And now our starting lineup for the Wildcats. Starting off, number 0, 6'4" junior, Elliot Brown.
Order like Warwick, then Jalen, and Lawrence.
For the Blue Comets, a 6'4" junior, number 3, Warwick Olsen. For the Wildcats, a 6'5" senior, number 1, Nash Morrison. For the Blue Comets, a 5'10" junior, number 20, Jalen Duncan. For the Wildcats, a 5'10" senior, number 3, Cole Hooper. For the Blue Comets, a 6'1" senior, number 22, Kobe Patterson.
Usually going out for bench Warrior.
For the Wildcats, a 5'9"
Lawrence
senior,
is
number
going
11,
right now.
Chase Young. For the Blue Comets, a 6'2" junior, number 23, Lawrence Hayes. For your Wildcats, a 6'3"
They go by
junior,
number.
number 12, Isaiah Howard. And for the Blue Comets, a 6'5" junior, number 35.
Cold front coming in, and your Blue Comets also. This is Comet Vision, and we are bringing you the 54th annual Ralph Miller Classic. This is the last game of the evening. In fact, the actual last game of the weekend. We're going to go ahead and go with starters for you tonight before tip-off for the Basehor Linwood Bobcats. We have number 0, 6'4" junior Elliot Brown. Number 1, 6'5" senior Nash Morrison. Number 3, a 5'10" senior Cole Hoffer. Number 11, a 5'9" senior Chase Young. And finally, number 12, a 6'3" junior Isaiah Calvert. And for your Chanute Blue Comets, we also have number 3, Warwick Olsen. He's a 6'4" junior. Number, where am I at? My bad. Number 20, a 5'10" junior Jalen Duncan. Number 22, a 6'1" senior Kobe Patterson. Number 23, a 6'2" junior Lawrence Cheney. And finally, for your tip-off, number 35, 6'5" junior Daniel Stanley. Tip-off is going, and Blue Comets come off with the board. Jalen Duncan to start with the basketball. Looking for a screen from Stanley. Little pick and roll action, gets it down to Stanley, immediately gets the first 2 points of the game. Great look from Jalen Duncan there. Duncan guarding up tight. Now Patterson, ball gets handed off to Hoffer, gets it inside. Floater in the lane is good for Isaiah Calvert. This is going to be a great matchup tonight. With me, I have color commentator, freshman, fresh off the middle school train, is Luke Fewens.
Yep.
How are you doing, Luke?
I'm doing good. How about you?
You excited for this game?
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Awesome. Kobe Patterson goes for the go-ahead 3, rebounded by Brown. Brown kicks it up. Pardon me, that's Brown. That was rebounded by Morrison. Brown with the ball gets it up to the top of the key to Calvert. Swinging the ball around. Now with Young. Takes the screen from Morrison. Young drives. Great pick by Jalen Duncan to be there for the help defense to poke the ball out of bounds. It's going to be Bobcats basketball, though, on the baseline. Ball gets tossed in to Elliott Brown. Ball looking to get passed down from Morrison to Calvert, but tipped away by Daniel Stanley instead. Calvert now with the ball. Fakes the three, drives right to the middle. Up and no good. Rebounded by Duncan. Duncan pushes it to Warwick Olson. Warwick waiting for a little help there. Now back to Duncan. Olson now with the ball. Had 25 points last night against, who was it that the boys played last night? Off the top of my head, I couldn't. Augusta, yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, lots of threes from Olson.
He was a little dry in the first quarter, but came out raining threes in the second, third, and fourth to give Chanute the win. Hoffer now with the ball. Gives it to Brown. Now back to Hoffer. Calvert looking down low. Doesn't like anything. Looks for the back door. Three's going to be faked. Back to the top of the key. Calvert now looking down low for Brown. Brown gets it up. Contested by Stanley. No good. Gets his own rebound. A little shove down low. Also missed. Morrison cannot finish in this possession. Patterson gets it to Olson. Olson drives baseline. Kicks it across to Cheney. He goes up in the middle. A little hard off the backboard. Gets blocked as Stanley. Blocked by Morrison. And Linwood gets the ball back. Yeah. Calvert drives baseline, goes up, contested, and he gets 2 points.
Comet ball movement's looking really good, too.
It is.
Haven't got much to fall, though.
Very fast-paced game so far from both teams. Bobcats, Comets, they don't mix well. Duncan gets it to Stanley. Back up to the top of the key for Olson. No three there. Cheney gets the ball tipped away by Calvert. And it looks like Patterson needs to tie his shoe real quick, as he's going to be the one to throw the ball in. Duncan receives the inbounds. Olson now in the corner, back up to Duncan. Long three, time ticking down on the shot clock, and Jalen Duncan had to take it.
He's hit multiple of those these seasons. With the clock winding down, he'll shoot a lot of those.
Absolutely. Three-point shooting runs in his family. He chooses not to take him a lot because he is more of a ball handler and playmaker, but he will take those if he has to. Basehor Linwood driving in. Floater is up and good for Chase Young. The Bobcats up by 1 halfway through this first quarter. Patterson now with the ball. Looking down low for Stanley. Gets it a little wide. Stanley spins middle, goes back to his right. Gets fouled going up by Morrison, and Daniel Stanley will go to the line for 2.
Early on in this game, the Comets are really trying to get Stanley the paint touches he needs. Coach Crabtree established a couple games ago that Stanley was not getting those touches that he needs, and now it's a clear goal for the Comets.
Absolutely. I talked last night about how Stanley did a great job on the defensive end with getting a ton of rebounds, but really needed to pick it up more on the offense. First shot is no good. Second shot attempt. Makes it. Stanley's got 3. Young bringing the ball up for the Bobcats. Gets it to Hoffer. Now to Brown. Swings it across to Calvert. He drives baseline. Gets bumped. Goes up. No good. Misses the over the back. Ultimately rebounded by Stanley. Patterson now with the ball, looking for someone open. Hands it off to Olson. Olson, Chanute's best shooter, and I'm sure Basehor Linwood has done their homework and has seen that. No contact foul on the play. It looks like Lawrence Cheney gets the pick and the free points there. Cheney and Duncan both very underrated defensive players in the state. Morrison drives in, kicks it back out to Hoffer. Pardon me, that's Young. Brown now open three. Off the back of the iron, goes up, hits the shot clock, and that's going to be immediately and out of bounds. A couple subs coming in for the Bobcats as Calvert takes a seat, as well as Young. So we have Rhett Hutchinson in and Brady Nixon. Tucker Applegate in for Chanute as we see Daniel Stanley taking a little bit of a seat. And coming up the court, we'll have Lawrence Cheney handling the ball. Wow. Cheney in the right place at the right time there. Olsen wanted that three, chose not to take it, swinging it around to Applegate. Now back to Olsen, looking down low for Applegate. Duncan now driving middle, spins, kicks it out to Patterson. Patterson's got to take the mid-range. Fadeaway, little short, no rebound for Chanute, but picked up by Brown. Brown now hands it off to Hoffer. Gets it picked away. Olsen now bringing it up. Pushes Lawrence Cheney through, gets Applegate to come out. Applegate with the ball, looking for someone to move through, gets it to Patterson, now to Duncan. Applegate cuts through the middle. Olsen now with the ball. Cheney waiting for Duncan to make a way through. Duncan posting up. Hook shot and fouled on the shot. Shot's going to be no good. And that's going to be a foul on Rhett Hutchinson.
A lot of people seem to doubt Duncan's size and his touch in the paint just due to the fact that he is not tall, but he is a true threat to teams.
Absolutely.
Because the spacing of the floor, he likes to tend to hit the outside threes when he has Olsen or Patterson on the wings.
So Duncan will, in fact, not go to the line, but instead Chanute will be inbounding the basketball. Got to get it off. Finally gets it in, close to the 5-second call. Cheney with the ball, gets it to Applegate. Applegate goes up, kicks it out to Patterson. Patterson's shot is off the mark, rebounded by Talon Elliott. Pushes it up the court. Hutchinson now with it. Curls around. Charlie Peak in the game for the Bobcats. And Brown backs his way down, gets 2 points against Applegate. Blue Comets definitely in some sort of motion style offense. Patterson with the ball down low, gets it to Applegate, and he gets called for the travel despite many hands on the ball, so it'll be Bobcat basketball. Blue Comets are going to take a 30-second timeout. We're going to stay right here for just a little bit. Luke, tell me a little bit about what you've seen so far that Chanute's doing really well.
Yeah, for sure. Comets have been doing a lot of ball movement, getting open looks. Just so far, the shots have not gotten the fall. It is a tie game, but if some of those shots from the Comets that they're taking have fallen, we would have a very steady lead. I'll also say that a lot of that has been due to Lawrence Cheney and Jalen Duncan being pass-first players. They're not necessarily looking to score. They're trying to get open looks for whether it be Olsen, Patterson, or whatever, or Stanley in the paint. They're just trying to get looks, and this is a very good ball-moving team.
Absolutely.
And that'll lead to very easy looks once the other team gets tired.
And this is definitely a great opportunity for Chanute to work on some of their skills and some of their deficits in some of their skill sets because Basehor Linwood is not a 4A class school, so they've definitely, I can't remember if they're 5 or 6A, but they're definitely a much higher class than Chanute. But they are great competition to help develop Chanute's skills. Bobcats into the lane. That's going to be Brady Nixon for 2. Quick little floater there for him. And Basehor Linwood takes the lead. Patterson over to Duncan. Duncan down to Cheney. Cheney up and under. Spin move. And that's good for 2 for Cheney. He's got 4. Ball swinging around, Peak. Now to Nixon, now to Hutchinson. Hutchinson takes the screen from Brown. Swings it back to Peak. Peak, long 3, in and out, no good. Rebounded by Duncan. Warwick Olson was looking for at the clock. Did not get it off, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. We're going to go ahead and take a 60-second break. We'll be right back right after this. It's been intense and a little intimidating, isn't it? When you got a mic right in front of you. I'm going to set this right here. All right, sorry about that delayed start from us. We were adjusting a couple things. Blue Comets coming out of the timeout there, or coming out of the end of the first quarter, rather. And looks like we have Kaysen Audis in for Chanute, as well as Daniel Stanley back in the game. Bobcats making a few substitutes themselves. A few returning starters. Chase Young back in. Nash Morrison and Isaiah Calvert, who currently has the ball. Young looking down low to Brown. Brown, right-handed hook is good. And he can continue to do that all night if you let him. Duncan bringing the ball up himself for Chanute. Audis now to Stanley. Stanley goes to his left. Misses the shot, a little strong off the backboard. Brown picks it up himself, takes it coast to coast, hands it off now to Young as he drives to his left, goes up with his right. Missed rebound by Stanley, but picked up by Duncan.
Comets are going to struggle if we keep giving them those open looks in the paint. Majority of their points has been those 3, 4, 5 footers.
So far. Chanute really needing to come out and make an impact this second quarter. Haven't really seen much from Warwick Olson, not even a shot attempt, really. They have really been guarding him fairly close. Duncan now, get it back to Olson down low, and he gets hung up. A little jump ball action there, and it's going to stay with Chanute on their own baseline. Lawrence Cheney now in the game for Chanute, taking Warwick out for a little bit of a breather.
Warwick was questioning that jump ball call.
Yeah, it looked like he got a bit of a skin on that before the jump ball.
Yeah,
but
for the foul.
As I've been saying before these last couple games is that during the Ralph Miller tournament, they bring in a lot of more Kansas City local referees who are more used to letting kids play and letting them get away with some of those fouls. Stanley up and under, spin move.
Stanley.
Great move by Daniel Stanley.
And that's the type of bag work we want to see, and Coach Crabtree has been trying to promote this entire season.
Once again, we may be having issues with the shot clock, so if you hear the buzzer go off, but then players still playing, no need to worry. Morrison, long three, long on the rim, rebounded by Otis. Picked up, pushed himself now to Chaney. Bringing it back to Otis. Otis looking for someone. Fakes the bounce pass to Stanley. Stanley pushes Morrison off of him. Now to Duncan. 16 seconds left on the shot clock as Patterson pulls it back out. Duncan looking for a little bit of movement. Takes the screen from Stanley. Wanted the pick and roll, but Otis was kind of in the way. Otis almost loses it. Goes up instead and gets two for himself. So that's just the end of the shot clock there that we can't really restart consistently. Looks like we've been dealing with a broken remote control there. Calvert driving right. A little fall away mid-range jump shot. Rebounded by Patterson. Duncan brings it down. Drives towards Patterson, hands it off. Patterson needing someone to come get the ball. He's kind of stuck there. Foul on Calvert. I believe that's his. Oh. Okay, yes. That was a foul on Isaiah Calvert. That's his first personal foul. He's got 4 points himself. Blue Comets.
He's tied with Elliott Brown for the 4 points leading scorer for the Basehor Linwood.
Blue Comets still up by 2, though. As Chaney drives middle, goes up, gets blocked by Brown and kind of shoved at the same time. So Chaney is slow to make it back. Shot is up and no good. Tipped away off of, looks like it was off of Patterson. No, pardon me, it's going to be off of Cole Hoffer. So it's going to be Chanute basketball.
I will say Chaney's mentality has seemed to have taken a shift this first half. He's looking to get himself some points, which is good for the Comets, but usually he's more of a pass-first player. We'll see how that continues to grow.
Absolutely. Case and Honest gets it over to Duncan, now to Chaney. Chaney skips it across to Patterson. Patterson hands it off to Stanley, and he'll drive all day. Spin out, open Patterson from 3, a little bit short. Rebounded by Chanute. Otis gets a free shot clock now. Tries to push Chaney through, but Chaney gets the ball instead. Now to Duncan. Patterson now faking the drive, hands it off to Stanley, gathers himself, tries to get his own rebound after his miss, but no good. Picked up by Brown. Chase Young bringing it down, skips it across to Morrison, but stolen by Lawrence Chaney. He's going to drive in, give it to Stanley, back to Chaney. He's going to spin up and under, looking for someone now. Blue Comets slowing things down, resetting the play. Otis dishes it to Stanley. Stanley lost it for a second there. Gets his own rebound back, tied up. Up again through the contact. Strong move by Daniel Stanley. Shove, offensive foul on Nash Morrison, who saw that from a mile away. Daniel Stanley did a great job. A little forearm right in the chest there, just to shove him about 7 or 8 feet back. So that is Nash Morrison's first personal foul. And as you all know, fouls reset every quarter, not the player fouls, the team fouls. So the players maintain their fouls, but the team fouls will reset. And when they get to 5 in each quarter, then players will shoot 2 free throw shots, no matter what. Duncan now with the ball. Blue Comets almost lost it there. He drives with his left, fakes, gets it to Chaney, and he'll drive middle, go up with his right hand, dribbles around, no good. Stanley smacks it back out. Fresh clock as Kason Honest gets an open 3 and misses. Picked up by Cole Hoffer.
The Bobcats are doing a spectacular job of limiting Warwick's play. He is being guarded very tightly on the offensive side.
Charlie Peak with a missed 3-foot layup picked up by Warwick Olson. Stanley, top of the key, gets it to Cheney, up and under. Tries to work through contact, but doesn't get a call there. Hutchinson now gets it to Brown. Brown travels in, dishes it out. Three-pointer's good for Cole Hofer. Pardon me, Cole Hofer. Stanley with the ball, dishes it down, gets stolen away by Hutchinson there. Stanley tried to get a little fake there, or a sneaky little pass instead. Shot's no good by Brown. Rebounded by Duncan. Duncan hands it off to Olson. Olson, again, has not really had many opportunities to shoot or even score so far this entire half. 43 seconds left in the game, in the half here. Cheney looking to get it down low to Stanley, and that's going to be a reach-in foul on Charlie Peak. Ball's going to be thrown in on the baseline.
Once again, to go with what I said earlier, Olson is showing visible frustration that he is not getting any looks or shots. It is not often that you see him go the entire first half without a shot attempt.
Yeah. I can imagine he is definitely a big-time scorer for the Blue Comets here, and it's got to be frustrating for him to not even get that chance. Olson, strong down low. His first 2 points of the game. Learned that one from his dad. Brett Olson, former KU basketball player and professional basketball player in Norway, I believe. Australia, one of those two.
Played in Australia for a bit.
Played in Australia. I think he played in Norway a little bit too. So he's now a medical professional here in Chanute. That'll be a foul on Warwick Olson. I believe that's his first foul of the night. So Warwick getting a little frustrated, taking his frustration out on the Bobcats here. Cole Hofer kicks it out. Gets called for the travel. He went to shoot it, but then decided halfway through his jump shot to try to dribble it out. And honestly, I thought he would have gotten away with that. But with 0.7 seconds left, it's now Chanute's ball to try to score before halftime. Duncan, half-court heave. Oh, off the back of the iron. There's been a couple of long throws at the buzzer just today that have been very close. That's going to be it for the first half. 18-15, Blue Comets in the lead over the Basehor Linwood Bobcats. We'll be back here after a little bit. Stay tuned on Comet Vision. About a minute and a half left before the beginning of the second half. We are back with the 54th annual Ralph Miller Classic. Now, I say 54th annual. There have been a couple of years where we've had to cancel the whole event. For instance, COVID. But this basketball tournament has been going on for a long time. And, in fact, these Chanute Blue Comets here today, a lot of them are actually returning from the championship team who won the Ralph Miller Classic last year. In fact, that last year team was the first team to win the Ralph Miller Classic since 2006. And for a fun fact, that was the year that Principal Zach Murray graduated high school. So it's been a while since Chanute has seen a championship in the Ralph Miller Classic. Unfortunately, they won't immediately see a championship this year, as everything tomorrow for the Ralph Miller Classic has been canceled due to projected weather on its way. So we hope that you guys will stay tuned for the rest of the game here and enjoy the rest of this game with us. In the meantime, we got 17 seconds until the game starts. Luke, what has Chanute been doing well again so far the entire first half?
Just going to keep coming back to it. They've been passing the ball extremely well. Second quarter, they finally got some shots to fall, whether it be Stanley in the post or some outside shots. But hopefully they can continue with that momentum. Shots will fall, the ball will move, and we'll see how that rolls.
Absolutely. Basehor Linwood starting with the ball since Chanute won the tip-off. Ball moving around here. Calvert from the very top splashes the three to begin the second half. He has 7. And he is leading this Bobcat team in tying the game right now, too. Warwick Olson wanted that three-pointer, but is very smart not to take it under pressure. Olson now looking across to Patterson for an open three. And Kobe Patterson responds with his own tray. His first 3 points of the game.
I feel like one of the things Olson does well, once again, is even when he doesn't have the shots, even when he's being pressed, even when he doesn't have the ball, but he gets his teammates involved and helps the Blue Comets score, even if it's not through him directly.
Calvert drives baseline, goes up for 2, and gets a pretty easy bucket over Kobe Patterson. Blue Comets still up by 1. Cheney with the ball, guarded by Brown. Gets it poked away. Patterson driving baseline, gets shoved. Kind of runs into Cheney, but ultimately gets the foul called on Isaiah Calvert. That's his second foul tonight. So Blue Comets throwing the ball in. Morrison gets the ball away from the Blue Comets, tips it up. Jalen Duncan looking to take the charge, but instead Elliott Brown gets the rebound, and he gets another 2. 6'4" junior now has 6 points of his own. Kobe Patterson misses the ball right between his hands. Coach Crabtree not happy with that. Still early on in the second half. Blue Comets only down by 1. It's been back and forth with a lead change so far this quarter. Morrison driving left, kicks it out to Young. Young looking for Brown, but instead gets it to Calvert in the corner. Lobs it over top, and Stanley's right there, as well as Cheney. They were both there to receive that pass. Cheney a little hard off the backboard, expecting Daniel Stanley to be there, but Stanley misses the putback, and Calvert takes it coast to coast with an easy 2 points of his own. He's now jumped up to 11 points. Duncan driving middle, spinning around. Cheney thought about it, thought about driving too. Dishes it back to Cheney. Left hand is no good. Needs it to be just a little softer. Driving baseline. A little tie up down in the paint. Kobe Patterson ultimately comes up with it, and he pushes it. Corner. Duncan for three, and that's good. That's Jalen Duncan's second three-pointer this game, and he ties up the ball game with a quick timeout from the Blue Comets. Jalen Duncan has 6, both of them three-point shots. 30-second timeout for head coach Devin Crabtree. That was a great look by Patterson. Patterson decided to kind of drive a little bit, pull in the defense, and left Jalen Duncan wide open in the corner, dished it to him, and you know, with as little as Jalen Duncan actually shoots, he's still very confident in his shot.
Yeah, agreed. He's actually one of our team's top 3-point percentage shooters, if I believe.
Yeah, he's a very smart shooter. He picks and chooses which ones he actually wants, and he chooses the smart option almost every time.
And I think that plays a big role in why he is up there for the top 3-point percentages, is that he doesn't force those shots.
Absolutely, and which is also a big reason why he's been a starting player for the Blue Comets since his freshman year of high school. Linwood now bringing the ball back down. Ball goes into Elliott Brown, swinging it around now to Hofer. Hofer takes it, swings it once more. Calvert, long three, short off the front of the rim as Chaney comes up with it, gives it off to Duncan now. Stanley cuts through, gets to the basket for 2. Quick, easy shots. Daniel Stanley, like we talked about, great rebounder, but also when given the opportunity can be a big scorer for your team. And in this case, with the lack of Warwick Olson scoring, Daniel Stanley has to step up. Looks like that was a foul on Kobe Patterson. That is Kobe's first foul.
Another big thing that is working for the Blue Comets is now that we've established the threat of the 3-point shot, it's starting to space out the defense, which is giving Stanley those open looks down low.
Absolutely. Between Stanley posting up and just cutting through the paint, and as well we'll see Lawrence Chaney driving into the paint pretty consistently to pull the defense in. We'll see that a lot throughout the game. Another rebound for Stanley, gets it to Chaney. Chaney will immediately get it past half court and just see what he can do. And loses the ball. Probably should have gone up with that, or at least drawn the foul. Hofer now with the ball, gets it to Brown. Now over to Young. Young looking at Brown down low. Morrison back to Young up top, driving baseline, tries to go for it, no good. Brown with the rebound, puts it back off of the rim, gets fouled going up by Warwick Olson, and that'll be Olson's second foul of the game. So Elliott Brown will go to the line for 2 shots. He's got 6 so far tonight. First shot's good. And we have Rhett Hutchinson coming in for Chase Young. Hutchinson had quite a few minutes in the first half. Didn't really score at all. Picked up a foul, but still a great ball handler for the Bobcats. Second shot was no good for Brown, so he'll stay with 7 points. Olson really wants that 3. Duncan now with the ball. Olson driving baseline, creating some room. Stanley corner 3 is a bit short, bounces off the rim and the backboard, picked up by Elliott Brown. Now Hofer's got it, gives it to Calvert, swings it into the lane. Up and under is Brown on the opposite side of the rim, and that's another 2 points for him. 30-second timeout for Basehor Linwood. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout with them. 26-28, Blue Comets trailing in the third quarter here. We got 2 minutes and 52 seconds left this quarter, and Chanute has really yet to go on a scoring streak so far. They've just kind of been hitting it here and there, but really haven't found that groove just yet.
I will also add on to that the Bobcats have taken quite a few more shots than the Chanute Comets have, it seems like.
Looks like there's a spill on the court. So now I think there's a spill. Unless somebody just threw up and we didn't see it, which I doubt's the case. Looks like Kason Audis is also in for the Blue Comets. Going to let Warwick Olson take a seat for just a little bit. He's over there on the sideline, just kind of sitting in his frustration over there.
Yeah, 2 points at this point in the game for Warwick is very unnatural, and it shows how good the Bobcats are at containing him and not giving him that three-point shot.
Absolutely. Bobcats have come out here and really shown a very disciplined style defense. Cheney creating a little bit of space between him and his defender. Stanley driving left, spinning right, not taking it. Cheney now driving middle. Not really anywhere to go either. Audis with the ball. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Trying to get it somewhere. Audis gives it to Stanley, gets fouled going up. That might be on Calvert, which will be his third personal foul. Absolutely it is. So his third personal foul of the night. He might potentially end up getting into a little bit of foul trouble himself if he keeps this up. So Stanley to the line for two. He's still at 9 points so far this game. Missed free throw there. Missed free throw earlier. He's about 50% from the line at the moment. Calvert takes a seat and is replaced by Brady Nixon. Stanley's second shot. He's got double digits. Another substitute in, Tucker Applegate, son of Tyler Applegate, is in for Daniel Stanley. And Tucker, another one of those presents that can easily just come in and fill in for a little bit to give somebody a bit of rest. Audis guarding Nixon really tight. Hutchinson with the ball, gets it over to Hofer. He drives middle, back over to Hutchinson, low pass. Now to Morrison. Blue Comets in a 2-3 zone. Skips it across to Nixon. He goes in the middle, floaters up and good. Nixon's got four. That's almost the exact same shot that he made earlier on the opposite end of the court.
Another very close shot, yeah, once again. Bobcats have not shot a lot of threes.
Chanute looking for an open man. Kobe with the ball. Applegate to Audis. Kobe cutting through. Duncan now swinging it to Patterson. Patterson, last second three before the shot clock. Audis tries to get it. Looks like it gets tipped out of bounds. Going to go to the Bobcats. We got a couple more people coming in. Talon Elliott and Charlie Peak, as Morrison and Hofer are going to take a seat and catch their breath. Hutchinson handling the ball for the Bobcats here. Looks like, oh, pardon me, never mind. Elliott now with the ball. Gets it to Brown. Brown in the corner. Elliott almost gets the ball stolen from him. Nixon pump fakes, drives baseline. Short on the slight layup. Picked up by Chanute. Chanute pushing it. Should have taken more of an advantage there from a player being down, but nonetheless, they set up a play. Patterson over now to Audis. Audis gets it stripped, and Audis makes a quick frustration foul there. And that's going to be Bobcat basketball on the baseline. Nixon's going to take a seat. Calvert's going to come back in. He still has 3 fouls of his own, so he still has to be careful, even though there's only 24 seconds left.
Coach Crabtree also has made it clear, both in practice and to the media, that he wants to dig into the bench a little. And over the past couple of games, he's been doing just that, with even Kelton Ruark, the sophomore, getting a lot of minutes. We'll see if in this close of a game against this big of a school, if he'll continue with that mindset.
Absolutely. Hutchinson drives middle, needs to get it off. 1 second, Brown chokes at the buzzer, and they're going to go into the end of the third quarter. Chanute down by 3, 27-30. Basehor Linwood Bobcats on top right now. We're going to take a quick 60 seconds. We'll be back after this. All right, back here just a few more seconds before the beginning of the fourth quarter. We got a few leading scores here. I'll start with Basehor Linwood out here. Elliott Brown, second leading scorer here for the Bobcats. He's sitting on 9 points, 0 fouls. He's done really well on the defensive end. But then ultimately you have Isaiah Calvert. He's got 11 points, but also in a little bit of foul trouble with 3 fouls of his own. What do we got for Chanute?
Over here we got Daniel Stanley with 11 points and no fouls. He's also doing a great job of being responsible, picking up points but not fouling. Then in second we have Jalen Duncan with 6. So quite a gap between first and second.
Yeah.
There is quite a few contributors to this Comet offense.
Yeah, we talked earlier about Jalen Duncan's, all of his points coming from 3-point shots. So he's, like I said, he's been choosing and picking his shots really well. It looks like Hutchinson's going to start out with pretty tight defense on Duncan, too. Duncan's been great because he's not only a great ball handler, but he knows he's a smart passer as well. So he won't just like throw a pass without absolutely knowing somebody's looking at him. Warwick Olson down on the block, fighting around a little bit with Talon Elliott. Goes left, looks to hand it off to Cheney. Cheney gets hooked by Elliott. And that's going to be a foul on Talon Elliott. That's going to be his first personal foul. And we saw that Elliott didn't like the foul, but I mean, we all saw Lawrence Cheney kind of spin around. So he's going to take a seat for a little bit. Cole Hofer is in for him as the Blue Comets inbound the ball.
Isaiah Calvert also in with 3 fouls. So we'll see if he can stay smart, stay disciplined, and not pick up a couple more.
Patterson pulls the ball out, slows things down a little bit. Bobcats still in a man-style defense. Good pick and roll by the Blue Comets. Long 3 from Warwick Olson. Maybe he's got to get that. He's got to get that out of his system to maybe start coming alive from the 3-point line. A little foul on number 23, Lawrence Cheney. He's got 2 fouls tonight. Pardon me. He's got 1 foul.
And that's the first time that the Bobcats have given Warwick that space. And to be honest, it was space because he was so deep. They probably didn't think he was going to pull it, but he did.
Absolutely. Warwick Olson, I think, is probably over the summer going to be looking to stretch his range a bit. 3-point attempt by Brown, no good. Put back also no good by Hofer. And Blue Comets come up with the basketball. Duncan looks to drive, dishes it to Stanley. Gets the foul and a chance for a 3-point play. Stanley's got 12, looking to make it 13. Morrison looking to check in right now. Will take over for Charlie Peak. I didn't quite see who that foul was on. Stanley. It's got 13. So Stanley really carrying the team point-wise on his back tonight. Nearly half the amount of points that his whole team has at the moment. Young swings it around to Calvert, now to Morrison, back to Hofer, long three, in and out, rebounded by Duncan, kicks it up to Cheney, goes up with the right hand, and it's good for two. Lawrence Cheney has 6. If he'd have missed that, that would have been a goaltend with the slap of the backboard. Hofer, wide open three. He'll take it if you let him. Hofer now himself has 6.
Bobcats really trying to find that success from the three-point line, and it's working. It's starting to become a good threat.
Cheney swings it across to Patterson. Patterson drives the middle, goes up with the right hand, and is good. Patterson's got 5. And the Blue Comets are now in the lead. In that last timeout, Chanute had been down by 3, but now have scratched their way back and crawled back to a 1-point lead with 5 minutes left in the game. Calvert, mid-range, kicks it out to Brown. Back to Calvert, long three is good. Calvert has 14. Timeout, full timeout, 60 seconds. We'll be right back in about that time. (34-36), Basehor Linwood still up by 2 with that last three-point shot before the timeout. They were down by 1, and then Isaiah Calvert comes out with a three-point shot, drains it to the bottom of the net to put them up by 2. We saw earlier today the Life Prep Academy and Bishop Miege game where it was just a back-and-forth game the entire game. Very good competition there. I think we're going to see the same thing here in the last 5 minutes of this fourth quarter. Duncan with the ball. Looks like Basehor Linwood is in a 2-3 zone. Olsen back up to Duncan. Kobe skipping it. Decides not to skip it. Drives baseline. Pivots. Kicks it back out to Duncan. Stanley gets the ball up for 2, and he's got it. Stanley's got 16. And the Blue Comets need it. Tied ball game. Morrison driving right, spinning left. Kicks it back out to Young. Back to Morrison. Baseline to Brown. Looks like a foul on Warwick. Olsen might have reached around him and hung on to him. That's 3 fouls for Warwick. Still, again, sitting at only 2 points for him tonight. It's a rough situation for Warwick Olsen, but a great defensive situation for the Bobcats. Brown now with the ball. Calvert looking back at Brown. Brown's been great at posting up and getting to the rim. Double teamed by Stanley. Young to Hofer. Wide open three is good. Hofer just needed that spot up there for himself. He's got 9. I believe all 9 points have been three-pointers from Cole Hofer. Daniel Stanley gets called for the foul. Looked like he might have grabbed him on the shoulder and pulled him back.
Crowd seems to disagree with that call. I think it was right call, though.
I believe so, too.
Yeah.
So that'll actually be Daniel Stanley's first foul. unless he's had more I haven't seen. Young to Hofer. Hofer to Brown. Brown to Morrison, almost wide open. Gets it stripped and bounced off his leg by Lawrence Cheney. Great defensive effort there by Cheney to step in and help where help is needed. Blue Comets still down by 3. Cheney gets into the middle to Olsen. Olsen steps up. No good. Cheney gets the rebound. Kicks it back out to Patterson for 3. Kobe back to Cheney. Now to Duncan. Cheney again resetting the play. Stanley to Cheney. Duncan to Olsen. Quick step to the left, no good, off the right of the rim. And Brown picks up the rebound.
As the clock is winding down, Warwick is really trying to find these shots, and these are usually not as deep as the shots he takes usually, but they haven't missed by much, so we'll see if he can start to hit the mark and sink these.
Absolutely. I was mentioning earlier how Warwick Olsen this summer is probably going to be developing a deeper range because he most likely will go into a senior year expecting to get offers from colleges all over. Not necessarily at the Division I level, but definitely community college, Division II, things like that, and he will be a true three-point shooter. Three-pointer, speaking of, Kobe Patterson. Full timeout by the Blue Comets. Kobe ties it up for them. He sits at 8 points, and we're going to take a 60-second timeout with him. We'll be right back after this. Just over 2 minutes left here. Chanute High School Gymnasium. It's an exciting game. Kobe Patterson ties up the ball game with just minutes left. Young with the ball gets it to Hofer. He's been hot from the three-point line. Same with Calvert. Brown looking to post up. Olsen keeping his arms out, trying not to get any fouls. Young goes in, jump stops up and good for 2. Young's got 4 now. He's been quiet all game. Only had 2 in the first half.
It's really going to be a challenge now that the Bobcats have established a threat both inside and at the three-point line. It's stretching the Comet defense, which is leading to a lot of buckets. We'll see how Coach Crabtree and the Comet athletes respond.
Cheney tries to flip it over his shoulder to Stanley, a little high off of that. Stanley's tall, standing at 6'5", but it's not that tall. Once again, we take a quick pause because of our shot clock remote not working. So the referees down here and our score clock operators are looking at fixing that. Tested it out real quick. Have to adjust the time. No big deal. Things are fixed. Let's presume gameplay. Bobcats starting with the ball. This is the first year, I believe, that Keisha has required 4A teams to have a shot clock. But last year, Chanute went ahead and purchased them and implemented them in all their games just to kind of get it out of the way. Blue Comets still down by 2, now under a minute. Shoddy pass there. And Daniel Stanley gets stuffed at the rim by Morrison. Full timeout by Crabtree. Crabtree is looking to tie up this ball game, maybe send it into overtime where we can regroup and figure out something from there. 44 seconds left, 22 seconds left on the shot clock. He's taking the 60-second timeout. We're going to stay right here and talk about this a little bit. You know, Basehor Linwood has quite a bit of size, quite a bit more size than what Chanute does in terms of their big men down low. Looking at Elliott Brown and Nash Morrison, both of them standing at 6'4" and 6'5". They're really hard to play against because they have quick hands. They can block the ball really well, even from behind, and especially with this officiating style, letting these plays happen and letting a little more contact happen. That's a little more difficult than what the Blue Comets are used to, especially coming from Southeast Kansas referees.
And I will add, the Comets have had a lot of close games this season. Not a ton of success coming out of them, with Pittsburgh going into overtime. We lost that one. Labette coming down to a layup at the buzzer. Lots of close games that come down to one shot last couple seconds. So we'll see if the Comets can kind of turn that momentum around and get a close game win.
If you're a Chanute fan, you're looking for the Blue Comets to just stay calm, to move the ball in a very smart fashion, but at the same time, also looking to penetrate and get to the rim. If you're a Basehor Linwood fan, then you're looking for defensive communication. You're looking for help side defense, and you're looking for a stop. That's what it all comes down to. Crabtree looks like his plan did not go to plan, and he's very frustrated in the moment. Crabtree says, come up, and you're going to have to foul if you want a chance to, if you want to score. Timeout by Basehor Linwood, full 60-second timeout. We're going to now take a 60-second timeout with them to regroup ourselves, and we'll be right back right here on Comet Vision. .7 seconds, that's a lot of time. Still down by 2, but Bobcats have the basketball. Chanute's in a pretty tight defense. Jalen Duncan, one of the best Chanute defenders. Olsen's got a foul on Brown there, so Olsen has 4 now. And that's going to be thrown in on the baseline. One more foul for Olsen, and he's out. One more foul for the Blue Comets, and Basehor Linwood's at the free throw line. Is that not 5 for Warwick?
Yeah, it should be, which isn't what you want to see.
No. And realistically, that's not necessarily smart on his end. I think he was just frustrated and wanted to get it out of there.
Correct.
So Kelton Ruark in for Olsen as Elliott Brown goes to the free throw line for 2 shots. Once again, he's at 9 points. Hasn't really scored much, if at all, this entire fourth quarter. First shot's in and out. That was a great foul.
Yes, and the sophomore Kellen Rourke has seen a lot of the floor recently the last couple of games, but hasn't seen the floor in this intense of a situation. It's just we'll see how he holds up and if he can maintain the ball, keep control of the ball, and if we can get a good shot up.
13 seconds. If he makes this, Chanute has to come back with a 3. And sure enough, 10 points for Elliott Brown. So timeout, full timeout for Basehor Linwood. They use their second to last timeout. So Coach Crabtree's going to draw something up. He no longer has Warwick Olson, their most reliable three-point shooter, but he does have Jalen Duncan, who's 2 for 2 from the three-point line tonight, and he has Kobe Patterson, who has also made 2 three-pointers himself. So if head coach, I don't see Basehor Linwood's head coach's name, but if Basehor Linwood has been paying attention, they will know to guard up tight on Jalen Duncan and Kobe Patterson. But also at the same time, they could throw in Kason Otis in there. He's a great three-point shooter. But ultimately, if you're wanting someone to get the ball, get the ball to Lawrence Cheney. He hasn't really scored much. He hasn't been finishing well from the rim or anything. Kelton Rourke could also be your savior here tonight. He's got a really decent three-point shot, and if he's open, then he can definitely pull that off. Once again, 13 seconds left. That's a lot of time to set up a play. Basehor Linwood in a full court press, but also actually more like a three-quarter court press, not pressing too tight. Blue Comets pushing the guys back. They were expecting to get a full court press, so they shaved off about a second and a half off of the clock. And full timeout for Chanute. If this is going to go as I feel like it might, Basehor Linwood might use up a bunch of fouls to force Chanute to the free throw line, limiting them to only 2 points max.
Correct, and by the time they do that, there will be very little time on the shot clock because they still have 2 before the Comets go to the free throw line.
Yeah, so
Bobcats have done a great job at controlling and not having stupid fouls this fourth quarter, and that has led to them being in the lead in this position and having the power to foul.
At this point, I think if we're being honest, I think what Coach Devin Crabtree needs to get done is to draw up a play, an inbounds play from the sideline for one of his shooters to catch the ball and immediately turn and shoot, thinking that Basehor Linwood's going to foul immediately, giving them a chance to shoot 3 free throws. So if not, then what it's going to come down to is Basehor Linwood's just going to keep fouling until they get the opportunity to take them to the free throw line. Calvert's in as a substitute. We got Calvert, Morrison, Brown, Hofer, and Young for the Bobcats. For Chanute, we got Stanley, Duncan, Patterson, Ruark, and Cheney.
And once again, for those just tuning in for this fourth quarter, Warwick Olson is out. The Comets' best shooter has fouled out, so we'll see how Coach Crabtree responds and who he puts the ball into their hands. We'll see who he wants to take the shot and who ends up taking the shot.
So it looks like Calvert's coming back out. What happened here was there was a first buzzer saying timeout's basically over. You have to get checked in before that first buzzer in order to actually be able to be in. So it looks like Basehor Linwood's not going to go for the foul. 3 seconds.
Stanley.
3-point shot for Stanley short. He gets another chance. No good. Does not quite get it off. And that is going to be the end of the game. Chanute Blue Comets fall by 3 points to the Basehor Linwood Bobcats. Great defensive effort by Basehor Linwood. Chanute coming off of this with a loss. Not a terrible loss, but definitely some things to think about going back into the regular season after this midseason tournament. My name's Caleb Wood. I'm here with Luke Fewens. That is the end of the Ralph Miller Classic for now. We will see you guys again right here on Comet Vision. Thank you Stay tuned for more Comet Vision action, and please stay safe this weekend with all this projected weather coming in. Have a good night.